राम सर्वेभ्यः हृत्पूर्वक नमस्काराः। प्रवेशकक्ष्यायां सर्वेषां स्वागतम्। अद्यतनपाठः चतुर्थः पाठः। गतकक्ष्यायाम् अस्माभिः तृतीयः पाठः पठितः। अद्यतनकक्ष्यायां वयं चतुर्थं पाठं पठिष्यामः। A warm welcome to all of you to Pravesha class. So in the last class, that was about 15 days ago, we completed lesson 3. And today we are going to commence lesson 4, and you're going to be learning another lakara. You're going to be introduced to another tense, that is lang lakaraha or past tense. As usual, let us begin with Guru Vandanam and Dhyana Shlokaha. Sarve Uchchaihi Vadantu. Please recite these verses aloud. Gurureva gatir gurumeva bhaje Gurunaiva sahasmi namo gurave Na guro paramam shishurasmi guroho Matirasti gurau mama pahi guru Bravimi samskritam vacha Dhyayami samskritam hrida Kurve sevanchakayena Vande samskritamataram Yonaras samskrita vyomnihyalayam ramate muda samskritinchaiva samskaram vindate natra samshayah. Idanim suktihi. As usual, we will start every lesson with a wise saying from any verse or any subhashitam. So let us see what the wise saying is in this lesson, fourth lesson. Udyoginam purusha simham upaiti lakshmihi. Udyoginam purusha simham upaiti lakshmihi. So let us see the shloka where this is found, or the verse where this is found, and then we will see the meaning. I will read it out aloud, then maybe I will ask one or two of you to read or repeat, whichever you're comfortable with. Udyoginam purusha simhamupaiti lakshmihi daivena deyamiti ka purusha vadanti Daivan nihatya kuru paurushamatma shaktya Yatne krite yadina siddhyati kotra doshaha. Punaha ekavaram pathami sarve shrinvantu. Udyoginam purusha simhamupaiti lakshmihi Daivena deyamiti ka purusha vadanti Daivan nihatya kuru paurushamatma shaktya Yatne krite yadina siddhyati kotra doshaha. Udyoginam purusha simham upaiti lakshmihi Daivena deyam iti ka purusha vadanti Daivam nihatya kuru paurusham Atma shaktya yatne krite yadina siddhyati kotra doshaha. Okay, so I will see who wants to. Krishnanji, kripaya pathatu. R. Krishnan Mahodaya.
Namaste, Ram Ram.
Namaste, Ram Ram Ram.
Udyoginam purusha simham. Udyoginam purusha
simham upaiti.
Purusha simham upaiti lakshmihi daivena deyamiti का पुरुषा वदन्ति दैवं निहत्य कुरु पौरुष पौरुषात्मा शक्तैः
शक्त्या
शक्त्या यत्ने कृते यदि न सिद्ध्यति कोत्र दोषः.
उत्तमं, धन्यवादः महोदय, वेरी गुड एफर्ट. Anyone else? Lakshmi Ramasubramanian ji, the same shloka. Lakshmi Bhagini. Namaste.
Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, I can hear you.
Udyoginam purushasimbhamupaiti lakshmi daive nadiyamiti ka purusha vadanti daivam nihatya kuru paurushamatma shatya yatne krite yadina siddhyati kotra doshaha.
Uttamam, dhanyavadah Lakshmi Bhagini. Okay, so a very beautiful verse. As in other lessons, one line from this verse is given to you as the Sukti. Udyoginam Purushasimham Lakshmihi Upaiti. So I will tell the gist of the entire verse, then we will just see exactly only that line we will focus on more. So for the syllabus, for the exam, you only have the first line. Udyoginam Purushasimham Upaiti Lakshmihi. You don't need to know the others, but for our information and because it's very interesting, we are learning the entire verse here. Udyoginam Purushasimham Lakshmihi Upaiti. Purushasimham. So here a person is compared to a lion. Purushasimham. Purushasimha means the person himself is a lion. So that is, you have different figures of speech, right? You have simile, metaphor, personification. So here the person itself is a lion, meaning the person has qualities like a lion. Now, lion is known for many of its great qualities. Its courage, the effort it puts in, and its determination. And because of a lot of qualities which a lion has, it is also known as the king of the jungle. Mrigarajaha iti vadamaha khalu simham. And it seems, and kanthiravaha, its roar, and also when it walks in the jungle, it walks with that confidence, like it owns the place, a lot of, and it puts in effort when it has to hunt, etc. So because of a lot of qualities observed in the lion, a person who is also very bold and courageous and determined and who puts in that effort, that person is also compared to a lion. Similarly, Purusha Vyagraha Ityapi Asti. So even a tiger, sometimes in some contexts, you get that comparison. So for a person who is very bold, and courageous like a lion, and who puts in effort, Udyoginam means for a person who puts in effort, and for a person who does his tasks, not a person who has alasya or laziness. Udyoga also can mean different things in different contexts. It could mean occupation, etc. in some languages. But here, Udyoginam means for a person who puts in effort and who is courageous. For such a person, Lakshmihi Upaiti. Lakshmihi refers to prosperity. Now, Lakshmihi is not just material prosperity. It includes everything, peace of mind psychologically, and, general well-being, welfare. So all good things happen, or prosperity, when we say, we should understand the word in a very wide sense, not just referring to material prosperity, including material prosperity, of course, but not just that, even spiritually. So for such a person who is courageous and puts in effort, Lakshmihi Upaiti, prosperity comes, or prosperity is drawn to, or prosperity approaches such a person. Daivena deyamiti ka purusha vadanti. So the ka purushaha means the unworthy or the or someone with not desirable qualities. So the unworthy, what do they say? Daivena deyam iti vadanti. They say that everything is given only by fate. So each word we should understand contextually. Here, daivena, fate. So those who don't put in effort, what do they say? They say the unworthy, and understood as those who are not putting in effort, say that everything is determined by fate. So without putting in effort, if you leave everything to fate, you will not reach your goals, or you will not get what is desirable in your life or what you want to achieve. So ka purushaha daivena deyam iti vadanti. Kimapi karyam na kurvanti. Then what the third line says, daivam nihatya kuru paurusham atma shaktya. Daivam nihatya, you forget fate, or you give up fate. Don't think about fate. You atma shaktya, with your own atma shakti refers to your own self-confidence and your own abilities, right? So with your own abilities, paurusham, and also with courage. So with being bold and courageous, and with your own abilities, being self-motivated, what do? You put in effort, and you do not blame fate. Daivam nihatya atma shaktya paurusham kuru. So with courage, with your own abilities, you put in effort without thinking of fate. Yatne krite, when you put in effort, or when you try, yatna, when you try or put in effort, yadi na siddhyati. So even if you put in effort, sometimes you might achieve, sometimes you may not get everything you desire for. Yadi na siddhyati, even if you do not get, yatne krite, however, if you have put in effort, kotra doshaha, what is your fault in it? Your is not there here. I'm explaining in English. The word your is not in this line. Yatne krite yadina siddhyati kaha atra doshaha. So it is not one's fault if one puts in effort and doesn't achieve or doesn't get the desired result. But what is important is to put in effort in the right direction. So again, a lot of tattva and lot of life lessons in all these suktayaha which we are learning. We learned sotsahanam nastya sadhyam naranam, arabdham uttamajanaha na parityajanti. So many of these, they make one's life very rich, these subhashitas. And the second line, daivena deyamiti ka purusha vadanti, daivam nihatya kuru paurusham atma shaktya. This reminds me of a verse from the Gita, right, where Bhagavan says, Uddharet atmanatmanam natmanam avasadayet, atmaiva hyatmano bandhuhu, atmaiva ripuratmanaha. So this is a very, very powerful verse again in the Gita, where Bhagavan says one should uplift oneself. Uddharet atmana atmanam, natmanam avasadayet. One should never put oneself down. One should always uplift oneself. So if you uplift yourself, what will you be? You will be your own bandhu. Atmaiva hyatmano bandhuhu. But if you do not put in effort and do not uplift yourself, if you entertain negative feelings about yourself and do not have a positive attitude, then what happens? Atmaiva ripuratmanaha. Then one can be one's own enemy. So it's in one's own hands whether one can be one's own friend, bandhu, or one's own enemy, depending on one's mindset, right? And even in the Gita, Bhagavan stresses on karma yoga. He says you have to put in effort, karma, without expecting the fruit or without desiring the fruit. Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Ma karma phala heturbhuhu ma te sangostva karmani. So again and again, Bhagavan reminds us you have to put in effort. That effort you have to do. So Arjuna did not leave everything to Krishna, right? He did not say everything is decided by Bhagavan, so let him wage the war. He gave up initially, seeing the armies, thinking they are his own bandhus on the other side. But ultimately, Krishna encouraged him to fight. Bhagavan said, you have to put in your duty as a Kshatriya. It is your duty to uplift dharma, to protect dharma, and to wage this war. So only after he put in effort, of course, Bhagavan's grace is always necessary. Like we see in the last verse of the Gita when Sanjaya says, Yatra Yogeshwarah Krishnaha, Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha, Tatra Shrihi Vijayo Bhutihi, right? Dhruvanitir Matirmama. So where there is effort in the form of Arjuna and Bhagavan's grace, there is prosperity and victory. So this verse also very similar tattva. It tells us, put in effort, do not blame everything on fate. Put in effort in the right direction with courage. That's another very important thing, which is why you have the word Purusha Simham. So with that courage, like a lion, you have to put in effort in the right direction, do your duty. And once you do your duty, whether you get the result or not, it is not your fault. So it is, you should just do your duty thinking that this is an offering and with a very detached mindset without expecting the result. So this is the meaning of this beautiful verse. And you have only the first line for Pravesha. So let us see that line in detail. Udyoginam, one who perseveres or puts in effort. Purusha Simham, a lion-like person. Lakshmihi, prosperity. Upaiti, approaches, draws near. So this says that Lakshmihi, prosperity, Swayameva Upaiti. Lakshmi, the prosperity comes by itself to a person who puts in effort and who is courageous. The Anvaya or the prose order is Lakshmihi Udyoginam Purusha Simham Upaiti. Prosperity is drawn to a person who is fearless and perseverant like a lion. Okay, so I hope you all got this meaning. Kapurushaha means Kutsita Purushaha. The ones who are, it's very difficult to give an exact translation. You can say the unworthy, or the ones who do not have the desirable qualities. So that is the meaning of Kapurushaha. Now we come to Bhashabhyasaha, that is the language exercises which we have in every lesson. Gata Kakshayam Prathama Pathe, Dvitiya Pathe, Tritiya Pathe Asmabhihi Latlakaraha Patitaha. Hello. So in the first 3 lessons, we learned Lat Lakaraha, that is present tense. Samskrita Bhashayam Dasha Lakaraha Santi. Iti Vayam Janimaha. There are 10 tenses in Sanskrit. Lat, Lang, Lot, Ling, Late, Lung, lot of them. Idanim Vayam Lang Lakaram Patishyamaha. Lang Lakaraha Bhutakalam Dyotayati. Bhutakalaha ityukte past, simple past tense. So idanim latlakare asmabhihi parasmai padam, atmane padam, ubhaya padam cha asmabhihi etani sarvani patitani. Idanim vayam langlakaram pashyamaha. In parasmai padam, we learnt about in latlakara, present tense, we learnt about parasmai padam, Atmane Padam and Ubhaya Padam. So all 3 types of dhatava or all 3 types of roots of the verb, right? So now let us focus on the past tense. I will repeat this again and again. Please memorize the verbs. So now we are going to be learning Lang. Next we will learn Lot also. So we will learn 4 tenses in Pravesha. That is present, which we have already learned, past tense. Then we learn imperative mood, that is command or request, lot lakaraha. Then we learn future tense also. Future tense and lat lakaraha are very similar. Future and present are present tense are similar in Sanskrit. But please memorize. So today we will be spending more time on past tense, and let us see if we have time for anything else. But I would want to spend more time on this so that you get familiar with past tense. And the entire past tense is done in this one lesson only. So we will have to learn all the Purushas, Prathama Purushaha, Madhyama Purushaha, Uttama Purushaha. Lang lakarah past tense. Bhutakalah परस्मैपदं पठ धातुः पठ इत्युक्ते रीड खलु इदानीं अहम् एकवारं वदामि कृपया शृण्वन्तु तदनन्तरं भवन्तः सर्वे भवत्यः सर्वे अपि वदन्तु हस्तम् उपरि कुर्वन्तु so please raise your hand. I will make some of you read. Everyone may not get a chance, but at least a few of you read this this particular table for both parasmaipadam and atmanepadam verbs. Pat dhatuhu langlakarah parasmaipadam. Apathat apathatam apatan apatah apathatam apatata apatham apatava apathama. पुनः एकवारम् अपठत् अपठताम् अपठन् अपठः अपठतम् अपठत अपठम् अपठाव अपठाम. In Latlakara, what did we see? Pathati, pathatah, pathanti, pathasi, pathathah, pathatha, pathami, pathavah, pathamah. That was Lat. This is Lang. We will see more verbs like this. Then I will come back to this table for you to read. Gam dhatuhu. Gam dhatuhu ityukte gam gamane in the sense of going. We use gam. Gam dhatuhu api parasmaipadam. Agachat, agachatam, agachan, agachah, agachatam, agachata, agacham, agachava, agachama. पुनः एकवारम् अगच्छत् अगच्छताम् अगच्छन् अगच्छः अगच्छतम् अगच्छत अगच्छम् अगच्छाव अगच्छाम. लिख धातुः for writing. अलिखत् अलिखताम् अलिखन् अलिखः अलिखतम् अलिखत अलिखम् अलिखाव अलिखाम. पुनः एकवारं पठामि शृण्वन्तु. अलिखत् अलिखताम् अलिखन् अलिखः अलिखतम् अलिखत अलिखम् अलिखाव अलिखाम. पतति इत्युक्ते falls. अपतत् अपतताम् अपतन् अपतः अपततम् अपतत अपतम् अपताव अपताम. पुनः एकवारम् अपतत् अपतत् अपतताम् अपतन् अपतः अपततम् अपतत अपतम् अपताव अपताम. Let us stop here. परस्मैपदिनः इदानीं परस्मै पदिनः एव. So let us first learn or repeat these parasmaipadi dhatus and then we will go to atmanepadi. So like we have in Latlakara patati patatah patanti and then in we have labhate for atmanepadi, that kind. Similarly in Lang also they are different. So let me ask some of you to Geeta Bhagini kripaya apathat pathatu.
धन्यवादः भगिनि. शुभोदयं. हरिः ओम्.
हरि ओम्. सुप्रभातम्.
सुप्रभातम् भगिनि. लङ् लकारः पठ धातु परस्मैपदिनः अपठत् अपठताम् अपठन् अपठः अपठतम् अपठत अपठम् अपठावः अपठाम.
अपठावः इति नास्ति, अपठाव. पुनः
क्षम्यताम्. अपठम् अपठाव अपठाम.
हा, उत्तमं. धन्यवादाः भगिनी.
भगिनी एक संशयः अस्ति भगिनी, पृच्छामि वा? भगिनी
pertaining to this, Is
Yeah.
it pertaining to what we are doing? Is it pertaining to apathat?
No, it is pertaining to Sukti.
Then we will come back to it, Bhagini.
Astu Bhagini. Astu.
Dhanyavadaha. Kripaya tatra
Dhanyavadaha.
likhantu. Kutascheta, let us move ahead with this. We have a lot to
Astu.
cover in this only.
Astu Bhagini. Astu.
Okay.
Kshamyata.
Dhanyavadaha. Dhanyavadaha.
Dhanyavadaha.
Chintamastu. Okay. Next. Priyadarshini Bhagini.
Namaste Bhagini.
Namaste.
Apathat.
Natu. Bhavati alikhat pathatu kripaya.
Likdhatoho langlakaraka parasmai padarupani alikhat alikhatam alikhan alikhaha alikhatam alikhata alikham alikhava alikhama.
Dhanyavadaha Bhagini. Dhanyavadaha. Uttamam Bhagini. Idanim Raghavendra Gopalakrishnan Mahodayah.
Namaste, Bhagini.
Namaste Mahodaya. Apatat vadatu.
Apatat, apatatmam.
Ekavaram, ekanimsham. Apatat, apatatam.
Apatatam, apatan, apatan, apataha, apatatam, apatat, apatam,
Apatata. Apatam.
apatava, apatama.
Punah ekavaram vadatu. The entire table.
Apatan, apatan,
iti nasti. Apatan.
Apataha, apatatam,
Apatatam.
apatata, apatatam, apatava, apatama.
Dhanyavadaha Mahodaya. So we have to be careful about the Hrasva Dirgha. So apatatam is Prathama Purusha Dvivachanam. Madhyama Purusha Dvivachanam is apatatam. So if we interchange these two, we will be interchanging the Purusha itself. So apatatam is Prathama Purusha. Apatatam is Madhyama Purusha. And the last line, Uttama Purusha, is apatam. It is not apatam. Apatam, apatava, apatama. Okay, so I hope this is clear. What I would suggest is, please keep listening to the recording, which is the reason why I recited it many times in the beginning of today's class. So those who are already familiar, for you, this will be a repetition. But for those who are new, please listen to the recording of these tables, and you can repeat it and try to read it thoroughly without interchanging the Hrasva and Dirgha. Listening really helps. I will just find out if there is any audio product in Vyoma. I know for Shabdas there is one, but I will also find out if there is one for Dhatavaha also. So where you can go on listening to the correct pronunciation, that itself will register. That listening itself helps a lot. Idanim apatat abhavat alikhat agachat na abhavat iti manye. Vasanti Subramanian Bhagini. Agachat vadatu kripaya.
Ram Bhagini.
Ram.
Lang lakharaha parasmai padi rupani. Gam dhatu.
Ha.
Agachat, agachatam, agachan. Agachaha, agachatam, agachat, agachata, agachata, agacham.
agachata iti tasya tha iti mahapranah na alpapranah eva agachata.
Agachata, agacham, agachava, agachama.
पुनः एकवारं पठतु भगिनि.
Agachata, agachat, agachatam, agachan, agachaha, agachatam, agachata, agacham, agachava, agachama.
Uttamam Bhagini. Just one observation for all of you. In a word like gachati, where you have a mahaprana here, right? So here there is a mahaprana. Ch, agachat. So there is a tendency to give the mahaprana effect to the next letter also. That should be avoided. So let me just show you. So we should not say agachatham. You know, by just without our knowledge, there is a tendency to give the mahaprana effect to cha also, because it is the very next letter after cha. Similarly, agachatam and agachata. So that we should avoid, and only the cha should be heard as a mahaprana. The next letter ta should clearly be only said as a alpaprana. Dhanyavadaha Vasanti Bhagini. So this is for everyone. For this is the general tendency, the general observation. So we tend to say agachatham automatically. So that we should avoid. Wherever there is a mahaprana, only that letter should be pronounced as a mahaprana. The next letter should be an alpaprana only. Agachatam. Similarly, agachatam and agachata. Agachata iti na vaktavyam. Agachatam iti na vaktavyam. Agachatam, agachata. The alpaprana mahaprana difference should be very clear. Dhanyavadaha. Idanim vayam agre gachamaha. So we learnt the parasmay padi forms. Idanim atmane padinaha. Vand dhatuhu. Vandate iti vayam janimaha khalu. Vandate, vandete, vandante, vandase, vandethe, vandadhve, vande, vandavahe, vandamahe iti latlakare, latlakara rupani. Idanim langlakare katham bhavanti iti pashyamaha. So the same vand dhatu what we learnt in latlakara, that is to prostrate or to salute. So the same vand dhatu we are learning in langlakara, the past tense. Avandata, avandetam, avandanta, avandathaha, avandetham, avandadhvam, avande, avandavahi, avandamahi. Punah ekavaram pathami. Asyam kakshayam eva vayam parasmai padam parasmai pada vishaye atmani pada vishaye api langlakare asyam kakshayam eva pathamaha. So which is why I said this class we should take some time, because we are learning both parasmai padam, atmani padam, and all three purushas in this lesson itself. In latlakara it was split into 3 lessons for you, but the 4th lesson in langlakara gives you all the forms in this lesson. So we have to be thorough before we move ahead. So this is the Atmane Padam form, which is different from Apathat. Apathat, if you see, is the Parasmai Padam form, Pat Dhatuhu. Vand Dhatuhu is Atmane Padam. Here the forms are different. So by next class, request all of you to memorize both these forms of Lang Lakara. I'm assuming you've already memorized Lat Lakara. So by next class, please memorize Lang Lakara forms. The Pravesha course is the most interesting, but also it requires a lot of effort from us for those who are first timers in learning Sanskrit. But once you are thorough with this, then it's a breeze. Then you can, the other courses, the other levels are very, you can, it's relatively simpler. But here, because we are being introduced for the first time, we have to put in effort to listen to the correct chant, to the correct, recitation of the tables, and memorize say it aloud. You all have many WhatsApp groups now, Zoom groups, etc. So please, in groups also you can meet and ensure that you say it correctly, because if you learn anything wrong, then unlearning is another effort, and then you have to learn the correct form. So in the first place itself, please ensure that someone is checking when you recite, learn it correctly, then practice by writing so that it registers perfectly. And we should never forget these forms. Okay, so the only way is practice, abhyasena, no other way. And it definitely helps if you're in a group and you go on reciting again and again. It definitely helps to do it that way. So let us read this table again. Avandata, avandetam, avandanta, avandathaha, avandetam, avandadhvam, avande, avandavahi, avandamahi. Abhashata, bhashate iti latlakare bhavati, atmanepadam eva, langlakare abhashata iti bhavati, prathama purusha ekavachane. Abhashata, abhashetam, abhashanta, abhashathaha, abhashetam, abhashadhvam, abhashe, abhashavahi, abhashamahi. Punaha. Abhashata, abhashetam, abhashanta, abhashathaha, abhashetam, abhashadhvam, abhashe, abhashavahi, abhashamahi. Idanim ayatata, yatate. Yatate means to try. So, or tries. So let us see ayatata, the langlakara form. Ayatata, ayatetam, ayatanta, ayatathaha, ayatetam, ayatadhvam, ayate, ayatavahi, ayatamahi. Punaha ekavaram. Ayatata, ayatetam, ayatanta, ayatathaha, ayatetham, ayatadhvam, ayate, ayatavahi, ayatamahi. Similarly, we can also say alabhata. I will do one thing. Let us, three of you can read avandata, asevata, abhashata. Then one of you can try alabhata without the table. So the same forms will, once you learn one form, if you learn avandata, you will be able to say alabhata also for labhate, to obtain. Alabhata, alabhetam, alabhanta, alabhathaha, alabhetam, alabhadvam, alabhe, alabhavahi, alabhamahi. So once you know the correct forms, then similar verbs you can derive the tables in the same way. So that would become easier for you. That exercise also you all should do. Idanim Ram Krishnamurti Mahodaya. In case you have already been given a chance today and I call out your name again by mistake, please let me know, because we'll give others a chance. Ram Mahodaya, Kripaya Avandata Vadatu.
Avandata, Avandetam, Avandanta, Avandataha, Avandetham, Avandadhvam, Avande, Avandavahi, Avandamahi.
Uttamam. Dhanyavadaha Mahodaya. Another small thing to note here, the last line or the Uttama Purusha atra avandavahi, avandamahi, tatra hrasvaha, avandavahi iti hrasvaha, avandamahi ityapi hrasvaha, tatra ante avandavahi iti navaktavyam, tatra dirghaha na hrasvasvaraha khalu, ataeva avandavahi, avandamahi ityeva vaktavyam. So please remember, recollect the difference we learnt in the initial few classes about the matra kala, that is the time taken to pronounce a hrasva, a short letter, and dirgha, a long letter. So accordingly, we have to keep it short. Avandavahi, avandamahi. Okay, idanim agre gachamah. Sitaraman Mahodaya, Sitaraman Subramanya Mahodayah.
नमो नमः
Namo Namaha.
एव धातोः आत्मनेपद लङ्लकाररूपाणि असेवता असेवेताम् असेवन्त असेवथाः असेवेथाम् असेवध्वम् असेवे असेवावहि असेवामहि.
Dhanyavadaha Mahodaya. Abhashata. Srinivasan Mahodaya.
नमस्ते भगिनी.
Namaste.
लंग लकार अबत अभाषत
Abhashata.
अभाषत अभाषेताम् अभाषन्त अभाषत अभाषथाः अभाषेताम् अभाषत अभाषध्वम् अभाषे अभाषावहि अभाषामहि.
धन्यवादाः. इदानीं तत्र महाप्राणाः के इति सूचयामि. अत्र कृपया तत्र सावधानतया पुनः एकवारं वदतु. So I am just underlining or highlighting the mahapranas for your reference, Mahodaya. So once again request you to please tell the entire table with mahapranas more clearly. Abhashata, abhashetam, and second line abhashathaha. So I've underlined it with red. So please could you repeat the table with mahapranas?
Abhashata, abhashetam, abhashanta, abhashataha.
Once again, that word once again.
Abhashataha.
Abhashathaha. Every alternate letter is a mahaprana, right? Yeah. Abhashathaha.
Abhashataha. Abhashetham. Abhashadvam. Abhashe. Abhashavahi. Abhashamagi.
Dhanyavadaha. So atra asmabhi, we have to be very careful in this mahapranas. So just a second. Okay. So abhashata, abhashetam. So if you remember from our initial classes, in fact, the letter Sha is also a mahaprana only. It is considered a mahaprana, but I am only underlining the mahapranas in Vargiya Vyanjanani. That is the grouped consonants, to differentiate them from the alpapranas in the grouped consonants. So I've only underlined that. I'm repeating this so that you don't get confused. Sha is also a mahaprana only. Okay, but I am not, I've not highlighted that here. So abhashata, abhashetam, abhashanta, abhashathaha. Here both the letters which I have underlined should be clearly pronounced. Abhashathaha, abhashetham, abhashadhvam, dha mahaprana, bha mahaprana, abhashe, abhashavahi, abhashamahi, which is why, you know, Sanskrit pronunciation, it improves your generally your pronunciation of any other words, any other language also, because so many mahapranas are there, and the mahaprana pronunciation is also a breathing exercise by itself. Okay, so we have to do justice to it. We have to correctly pronounce the mahapranas. Chaya bhagini, idanim kripaya bhavati alabhata iti labdhatoho rupani langlakare vadatu. Atra nasti, tatra screen madhye nasti, param vaktum shakyate bhavatya. Will you be able to do bhagini? Alabhata?
I will try.
Yeah.
Alabhata, alabhetam, alabhanta, alabhathaha, alabhetham, alabhatvam, alabhashe,
Alabhe.
alabhe, sorry, alabhe, alabhe, alabhavahi, alabhamahi.
Uttamam bhagini. Uttamam, dhanyavadaha Chaya bhagini. Very good. So evameva asmabhihi kartavyam. So now I hope you got an idea, at least those who are learning for the first time. With knowing, memorizing one table, all similar verbs we can go ahead in the same way. Okay, so let us do next one. Ayatata. Sheila bhagini.
Namaste, ma'am.
Namaste.
Yat dhatuhu langlakaraha atmanepadi ayatata ayatetam ayatanta ayatatah ayatetham ayatadhvam ayate ayatavahi ayatamahi.
Uttamam Sheila bhagini. Idanim, let us do avardhata. Kishore Mahodaya, ayat avardhata kartum shakyate va? Kishore Mahodaya, Kishore Lokre Mahodaya, please unmute. Kishore Mahodaya, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, could you try avardhata, vardhate dhatu, vardhate iti latlakare asti, vardhate is to increase. Avardhata, similar to whatever you see on the screen, you can do for vardhate in langlakara.
Okay. Avardhata, avardhetam, avardhanta, avardhata, avardhatah, avardhetham, avardhadhvam, avardhate, avardhavahi.
Avardhe.
Sorry, avardhe, avardhavahi, avardhamahi.
Uttamam. Dhanyavadaha. So I think now you have an idea. So how to do it for other dhatus also. Dhanyavadaha. Idanim. Tatra parasmaipadi atmanepadi cha. So see, this is just a comparison for you to know. Apathat, apathatam, apathan for pat dhatuhu in parasmaipadam. In atmanepadam vand dhatuhu avandata, avandetam, avandanta. So this comparison is given for your ease of reference to know the difference between parasmaipadam and atmanepadam. Madhyama purusha in parasmaipadam apathaha, apathatam, apathata. Madhyama purusha in atmanepadam avandataha, avandetham, avandadhvam. Then uttama purusha in parasmaipadam apatham, apathava, apathama. In atmanepadam uttama purusha avande, avandavahi, avandamahi. This table we have to memorize, and you have time. So you have ample time to memorize, because I think Sudha Bhagini said that next Saturday you won't be having a class. Next Sunday also you won't be having a class. So you have 15 days time to memorize these tables. So the homework for the next 15 days, and I will request Sudha Bhagini to have oral exercises and oral tests sort of. You won't be in person, but still in the next 15 days, please memorize langlakara. And if you still aren't very confident with latlakara, that also. So your latlakara, langlakara, parasmaipadam, atmanepadam forms should be thoroughly memorized in the next 15 days. Please take this up. I'm just giving you a timeline so that in the end, if you're taking up the exam, not only for examination's sake, but just to learn the language, we should not have too much of a backlog. When we learn 4 lakaras, then we are going to learn shabdas also. That is for nouns. There we'll have to memorize 21 forms. So it will be easy for you. It will be simpler if you do it as and when we do it in class. So by the time we have the next class, that is next week, there are no classes. But after that, we will have in the second week of June. By then, please memorize latlakara and langlakara, parasmaipadam and atmanepadam forms. Idanim vayam vakyani pashyamaha. We only have 3 more minutes, so maybe I will just introduce you to sentences in Langrakara and we will stop here. Chhatraha pathati iti latlakare asti. Langlakare chhatraha apathat. So the intention of this exercise here for you was to identify the lakara. So I will just show you a sentence on the screen. Identify the lakara. Kasmin lakare asti iti tatra manasi eva tatra nishchayam kurvantu. So you don't have to tell me, just see the sentence and see which lakara this is in, and you can change it to the other lakara. That is to, if it is present, change it to past. If it is past, change it to present. Balakaha akridat. Langlakare asti. That is past tense. Latlakare katham bhavati. Balakaha kridati. So balakaha akridat, the boy played. That is simple past. Balakaha kridati, the boy plays. Sa khadati. Kasmin lakare asti. Latlakare asti. Present tense. Vartamana kalaha. Sa khadati. She eats. Bhutakale katham bhavati. Sa akhadat. Past tense. She ate. Amba pustakam apashyat. Mother saw the book. Simple past tense. Bhutakale asti. Latlakale vartamana kale katham bhavati. Amba pustakam pashyati. Okay, so please note these sentences and we will stop here. I will take up the questions. So this is how we have to learn to change from vartamana kala to bhutakala and vice versa. So here the examples on the screen are of parasmaipadam verbs only. Next class we will also go ahead and learn atmanepadam verbs, sentences with atmanepadam verbs and interchanging. So you should know to identify the lakara and the purusha. Akhadat, if I say, you should know it is langlakara prathama purusha ekavachanam form. So similarly for the other forms also. So let us quickly see the questions. Okay, many of you have asked me about Udyoginam Purusha Simham, which where is the source for it? I will verify the source and get back to you. So I will see whether it is from any Shatakatrayam or is it from Kiratarjuniyam. I will verify the source and get back to you. Udyoginam Purusha Simham, I will tell you what the source is. Yeah, that is the same question many of you have asked. So I'll get back with the source to you. Vaktavyam means has to be said. Evam vaktavyam, it has to be said this way. Evam na vaktavyam, it should not be said that way. Yatate Vatsalaji means to try. So ayatata is the past tense, tried. Sudha Bhagini is in class. Wonderful. I hope you're feeling better, Sudha Bhagini. So she says she will upload the exercises. So I will request Sudha Bhagini to have oral test also for you in the next class. Dhanyavadaha Sudha Bhagini. She says she has already made a list of dhatus for practice. This lesson we will have to go a bit slow initially because, like I said, you're introduced to all, Parasmaipadam, Atmanepadam, all Purushas in the same lesson itself. Shiva Mahodaya, thank you for that. All of you, please see in Vyoma Dhatu Rupa Parichaya, there are videos to learn forms of 108 popular dhatus and 4 lakaras. So that is wonderful, Shiva Mahodaya. I will request the Vyoma team also to share the video links so that I can share it with you. Like I said, listening is very helpful to memorize. So I will request for the videos and we will share it. They might already be on the course page, but I will verify this and get back. Upaiti ityukte Priyadarshini Bhagini, approaches or is drawn towards or draws near. Kishore Mahodaya says the verse is from Hitopadeshaha. Dhanyavadaha Kishore Mahodaya. Ahamapi ekavaram drishtva vadami. So Kishore ji says it's from Hitopadesha. I will also verify the source and revert to all of you. Sarve prashnaha api samaptaha iti manye idanim. So, as usual, let us conclude with Shanti Mantraha. Kshamyatam, we could not go too much ahead in today's class, but that's okay. Let us all memorize these forms by the next class. Oh, sorry. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Sarve santu niramayaha. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Dhanyavadaha sarvebhyah. आगामी सप्ताहे कक्षा द्वयमपि नास्ति शनिवासरे भानुवासरे च तदनन्तरं मिलामः. So we do not have a class next week, both on Saturday and on Sunday. We will meet the week after that. That is in the second week of June. Dhanyavadaha. Punarmilamah. Ram Ram Ram.